Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai. In the next instant, in this instant, anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. Not to start the week on a terrible note or something, but there could be a nuclear disaster in India and all of us could be wiped out without any sense of what happened. This moment, it could happen. Or in this moment, just the most glorious seeming experience can appear on heaven, which is unchanging. All that we have invested in the life of this person, seeming person, can be blown to bits any moment. Therefore, those who are wise, even phenomenally, without even before discovering the self, they would say that there is no point getting attached to that which is appearing. Isn't it? Because they have seen that no matter what you do, there is no point in hanging on to these appearances. This is surrender, you see. Just to be open to what is appearing on the seeming outside, anything can be happening. Let's look together. Anything could be happening on the outside. All of you could go crazy this second and come to attack me or something. Huh? Suppose. But will that change anything that is real here? Will the witness of all of this outside movement change in any way because of anything happening in this realm? Hmm? Won't change. So if anything happening on the outside cannot change or touch this witness, then who's so concerned about it? Things to be a certain way. I want my life, and by that we usually mean the appearances which appear in my life to only be a certain way. Who is this one? So we surrender the outer appearances and say that whatever be thy will in this realm, and yet you remain untouched. It's completely unpredictable what can happen. And when we let go of it, when we let go of ideas of what should happen, then we start enjoying this play in this way. And I can tell you that it is a lot more fun to watch this movie trailers or trailers or expectations of how it should be. To the right now, there are millions, billions of processes maybe that are happening in the body right now. What are the processes which go into place to make us smile right now or to make us cry right now? There are many, many thousands. So many millions of things which are happening in this body right now. And we feel that it is my body. You can't even change one heartbeat of the body. And we claim ownership of it. So anything can happen in this body. And we can let it go. Let it go does not mean necessarily some recklessness or neglect. It's just a neutrality towards what is appearing. And in the same way that nothing happened to the witness when something appears in the outside realm, then in the same way you also realize that nothing happened to that which witnesses this body, no matter what is happening to the body. Even the pain in the body does not touch the witnessing of it. Then what else do we want to control? Thoughts. Many in India are actually trying to get a pure mind. I want to have a pure mind. And nobody, I have seen at least, I shouldn't say nobody has been able to do it, but nobody that I have seen has been able to do this. Think only pure thoughts. Think no defense. The mind is attack and defense. Only us versus them, only arrogance, only specialness. It is the job of the mind to inculcate these ideas. But is that who is aware of the mind, the witness of the mind? Is that affected in any way by the purity or impurity of the mind? Right now, any thought can come. Does something happen to the witness of it because the thought came? And is something taken away from the witness when the thought goes? Just a coming and going, just like any other appearance. Then, what else do we get attached to? Some sensation or emotion. Step back from these and really look. What happens if the emotion is joy or the emotion is grief? Does something happen to the witness of them? The mind, of course, will come and say, but only these kind of emotions should come. And yet, in this play, full of contrasts, we'll have both opposites, whether we like or not. But the important point to notice is how does that, which is the these, how is that one touched? How is that one affected? And it is possible right now to be completely open to allow everything to come in all of these layers, seeming layers of existence that we spoke about. It's because the witness is not an entity. If the witness was an entity, then something coming and going could hurt it or affect it. Therefore, we can say that there is no witness actually, there is only the witnessing. And you must not try to understand this. You must try to check if this is true or not. Don't collect new concepts. See that this is true. It's very simple. Mike, you can give us the mic. You want to come? You can come. This is the fun of the movie, you see, because I don't know which version of her is going to show up now. So I'm just in wonder saying, oh, let's see what happens now. And she doesn't know, so this is good. Something about what we were saying earlier? Yes. So now, can you find the witness which is hurt by any of this? Yes. Thoughts, you see them come and go. Yes. 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 Yes.
It's like feel the fear,
Yeah.
So
Yes. But even fear is an appearance. Oh no. Yes. Yeah.
it's affecting. It seems very real to me because it's my daughter has been affected. She cries and she's scared. So when I see that, I don't see as an appearance in that moment. It feels real.
Yes. It's a funny story actually. When we moved into this house, for the first time in my life, we had something like a terrace garden. In the terrace garden, there are thousands and thousands of plants and various things which are there. But I took some seeds and planted them. Something I don't even remember now what I planted. And every day in the morning, the first thing I would check on what? The seeds that I had planted. As if the rest of the plants are not plants, only the ones that I had planted. You see? So this is the nature of attachment. You see? So when we identify ourselves to have a sense of ownership over something, we call something me or mine, then that is attachment. You see? So this is attachment. Now I have given free pass for one attachment. That's the mother one. Yes. So you have the free pass for this. Yes. Yes. So don't worry about this one. This attachment, don't worry about trying to get rid of it. The mother one, you don't have to try and get rid of it. You can keep it. So now you have this attachment and you're free to act completely attached when it comes to this one. What about the rest? Yes, you're not. It's fine.
He just does it for on purpose, or I don't know for what reason he does like that. But it scares her, and then I can't take it when she's hurt.
Mm.
So even though I don't feel I'm his sister,
Yes,
but still it hurts me. So
yes, yes,
this is where I feel scared.
yes. There is no attachment which is free from suffering or hurt. You see, so when you give yourself the free pass to keep the mother attachment, then you're also giving yourself this allowance to suffer because of it or to be hurt because of it. You see? So see it as a natural part of this existence because it is not an attachment which we can just wish aside. It is there and it is bound to give you some suffering and is also bound to give you some joy.
I saw I saw him doing like that twice in a row, like yesterday and day before yesterday. And today morning he came and he said sorry to her. I could not retaliate, like I could not oppose what he was saying. I was just trying to keep quiet because I was just trying to just witness what he was doing. If I don't react, I felt I got that thing, I shouldn't react to what he does, then it might trigger more or something.
What is he what? He's not physically harming her in it.
So far, no. So far, he hasn't. But the event the other day, which had happened, I told about my mom. That day it was really
You
horrible.
have to, as a mother, because we keep this one, as a mother, you have to take a call on whether it is a safe environment for her to be in or not.
Yeah, but my family is also there, no father.
You say yourself that you are not attached to
I am
anything.
not, but my dad is attached to her. So
No, I think all other calls are secondary before this one.
yes,
So
it
you
is.
have to take a call on whether this is a safe environment for her or not.
Yeah,
And if you feel that it is not, then we can find some other place. There are so many of us staying here
yeah,
because just phenomenally and practically speaking, it makes no sense to put her in any sort of danger. So you have to take a call and you have to see.
yeah. My dad said the same thing. Just another 10 more days, the wedding will be over, and then you can just. But uh, I can see that he's not letting. He doesn't want us to go also
Yes,
because he's attached to her more than me.
yes, yes.
It's like a circle for me now.
In this practical world, it's always easier when you have just one or two variables. If you put too many variables into a decision, then it makes it very confused. The primary variable in this case is your daughter safe in the environment that you're in? And if you find that it's just this one who is carrying her, whatever, is just playing like this and nothing really will happen, then it's fine.
Father, but he's also not like normal like us.
Yes,
He doesn't understand that.
yes, yes.
So it's not that I'm defending or anything,
I know,
but
I know.
from where he comes, he doesn't know what he does in that
Yes,
moment.
yes, yes. So we're not blaming him.
No,
No
no,
judgment about
no.
him
Yeah,
also. I
yeah,
know there's some mental concerns over there, so
yeah.
that's fine. But given that that is the case, you will not be able to. I mean, it's really nobody would want something to happen to her, isn't it? So that is the call you have to take. Given all the circumstances and everybody how they are, is it a safe environment for her or not? If it is not, then are you willing to take that risk?
If I take that risk, it's going to be a different way. If I step out, then it might create another problems now, because then it might trigger him again.
Then do everything that you can. Maybe just be with her all the
Yeah, no,
time.
yeah,
You know, make sure that she's never alone
yeah,
for the
no,
next 10 days, like you
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. No, that way she doesn't leave me even if I
Yes,
want to. That way she's always with me, even if he's around. We just sit in the room or something. We just try to avoid him completely.
yes,
Only few hours, that is. So another 1 week, that's it. After that, we wouldn't be able to see him much. And then he gets busy. So that way, yeah, I'm protecting her, no problem. But yeah, yeah, I think your blessing is there, Father. So nothing is touching us. But when these moments come,
yes.
it just
It's a
happens.
beautiful inquiry into attachment.
Yeah, yeah, the mother attachment.
It is very, very primal. Some of you might be wondering if you're new to satsang, you might be wondering that why is he saying keep this attachment? You should say let go of this also. You see, but I've seen that if you try to push this one aside, this one becomes very much a ego tussle because it's very primal. You see, even small animals fight with lions and elephants to keep their offspring alive and to keep them safe. So don't no need to fight this one. Once we then this one can happen.
Because when I had those moments, it was I felt the fear, like
Yes,
the fear was really intense, and I was like trying to let go of that
yes,
nothing will happen, something like that. It was not easy, Father. It was
yes,
not easy. It took like 1 or 2 hours, or until he came back, or he didn't do it. There's some fear of what if he comes and does something again, or because I can't tell her anything. I'm
yes,
trying to, but sometimes she wouldn't know what is happening. She forgets and she gets back normal again. Maybe she's forgotten what he said, but I'm not able to forget it. So those moments are really fearful for me. I
yes,
forget everything and be in that fear for whatever. It's horrible to be in that.
yes,
Horrible.
yes,
It's like it's better to die than to be in that moment, even though your mom or whatever it is. I don't know. I felt like that twice, and then morning when he said that, I felt relieved actually. today in the morning when he said, I'm sorry. But she is so resistant slow. She doesn't want to go to him at all. She
Yes,
doesn't want
yes,
to look at
obvious.
his face
Yeah,
now. And yeah, somehow we are trying to. I'm not putting that negative thing to her that what
yes,
he's doing,
yeah.
I'm just saying he's pretending or something. That fear comes and it's horrible to me.
As long as you feel that if you're with her all the time, nothing will happen, then it's okay. Because you can't have it both ways. No, you say it's worse than death, and yet you don't want to upset your father by moving away,
It's Father, I can't do that because if I do, it'll upset the whole thing. My brother is even
but
more.
still not worse than death.
I don't know, Father, because the other day it was almost to that kind of thing. The event that
She
happened,
won't fall.
the thing which happened was closer to that. Something would have happened, but I was like, because I was not involved in that, so I was in the room holding her, and I didn't get out of the room at all.
Yes,
So something like that. I don't know why I'm talking also this
it's
one,
okay.
but like when I had a fight with my mom, I could see that there was no fear. I could literally, it was not, as I said, it was not really touching in me in any way. I
Yes,
could like get detached and watch everything. But when this thing happened, it was like burning inside. I couldn't actually step out and look at it. I couldn't do that. So it was a bit of a intense moment for me.
yes. This is a 100 times more intense version of the funny thing which we say, which is that if you ever feel you're enlightened, go spend a weekend with your family. This is the more intense version of the same thing. What does it mean actually? We can look at this, no? It only means that very quickly, when you're with your family, they make a somebody out of you. And you're sitting alone at home, it just feels like I'm nobody. Yes, what Ananta is saying, we're really nobody. There is no ego, there is no person. You see, it's true, everything is coming and going. You see? So, those circumstances in which we are convinced that we are somebody, this is what it means. And usually it is family. For some, it is work. For some, it is body related stuff. And for some, it is seeker identity itself convinces them that they are somebody who needs to find this freedom. So, what is it that makes a somebody out of us? Even those who have left their families and living in caves have not necessarily left the seeker identity, still being a somebody who is living in a cave wanting freedom. Isn't it? What are those circumstances which make a somebody out of us? And are they also not another set of appearances? Okay? So right now, when we say, okay, but this seems so real, means that there is a somebody. I feel like I'm somebody when this happens, isn't it? Otherwise, it cannot feel real. It will continue to feel meaningless as an appearance unless I become a somebody first.
This is what I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Why it feels so? With others, it feels very unreal to me now. Nothing, but only this one
This
is.
is the nature of our strongest attachments. They make a somebody out of us.
Yeah, but you asked us to let go. I mean, to have this
Yes.
attachment, and then so it's still okay to suffer like that.
Yes. Because attachment comes with suffering.
Suffering
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Because I can tell you why I don't tell you also to let it go because I am attached to my children. It's like the Gandhiji example. No? How can I treat something to you unless I am over it myself? If somebody comes and threatens my daughter, something will react from here very personally. So I see that it's not something which is just finger snap, okay, just let go of your attachment to your children. Doesn't happen. You see, I'm not forcing it to happen.
just hypothetically if something happens, so I still, I mean, I can react to that, or the reaction can be there for
Yeah.
that too.
Yes. It is impossible to be attached to something. Not impossible. Most unlikely for us to be attached to something and a reaction not coming when that something is threatened.
It's not a stranger, father. My brother is not
Yeah.
an outsider, you know. And knowing that what his mental condition is, I can't even really, react in a really bad way
Yeah.
also. I can't do that because I know him. There's no difference between her and him. It's just that is an older
Oh,
version.
it just
Yeah,
looks bigger.
that's all. That's
That's all.
all. So
And is he getting
how
help or
now, unfortunately, no, he's finished the
okay.
treatment, but at times he behaves, not every time.
Okay.
Sometimes these things come up like that, and then suddenly he starts doing it and it builds on it. He tries to build, not knowingly he does
Yes.
it, but unknowingly it happens, and then somehow it drops off, and then that's the only reason I'm still
The best you can do in this circumstance is to make sure you're
away.
consistently with her and
Yeah,
making
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. No, even otherwise, she also doesn't leave me when
Yes.
he's there. She just sticks to me, and I think this is something which I wanted to ask you, so Father. Somehow
It's
it's
best not to be in denial of things. You see,
hmm.
it would be much worse if I were to tell you, no, now you stop being in denial, you do it.
Hmm. I can't,
Because
Father.
that is just making a projection and
Exactly.
saying, this is what an enlightened being must be like. And once I'm there, then I'll be, then it creates so much dichotomy and distress within you. This sense of motherly attachment versus the projection of being an enlightened person can create so much struggle. It's not required at all.
Those doesn't even come to my
Exactly.
mind. Then the only thing what happens is that in that moment, maybe this mind brings it like you shouldn't be reacting. Just witness. He will not even touch
Yes.
you. Like you'll fall down, sit down. Then um, there's one more thing which came up, but I'm not able to recall. In that moment, the way the mind throws up is I'm not even what to say. Um, um, Buying the thoughts, the
Yeah.
fearful what
Yeah.
mind is throwing up, but I don't know what I want to say,
It's
Father.
okay.
Mind is not.
It's okay.
I was just chanting that moment
Yes.
when I was doing that, just to make sure that nothing happens. Or yeah, that's something I want. There is a fear that something might
Yeah.
happen. He might hit you or some. These thoughts come,
Yes.
although it may not happen,
Yeah.
but these thoughts come. Or I should go back, not stay here, something like that. I don't know what I want to say, Father. It doesn't make sense what I'm talking.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's not a bad thing.
I was just chanting Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. For some reason, it
Great.
came up, and it did help. It helped me so much that day. Right now, it doesn't feel any, doesn't make any sense to speak about that to you also. No? Maybe I was expecting that I should get over this attachment also, or something. I think so.
Yes. If that is meant to happen, it will happen on its own. But it doesn't have to happen, doesn't get in the way of your freedom because it's very natural. Even a newborn child, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, is automatically attached to the mother.
Mm,
So, will you call that child egoistic?
no.
These are very primal, very basic attachments.
Yeah, maybe because there was an expectation that nothing. or uh, like if I am unattached or something, then all these whatever extra, it's because it's my own projection. That's
Yes.
what I'm seeing now. Even if my brother is reacting that way, it's my own shadow or something. So if that,
Don't take on that blame onto yourself,
okay.
because this is very popular in this, ever since these manifestation, visualization, and secret type of things came out. It's very popular to say things like, oh, it must be some just internal pattern which is coming outside and things like this. So don't fall into that, because there's too much guilt and blame associated with all this. It's just another appearance.
Okay. So that's why this thought, this is what I was trying to say probably, that mind is making these kind of things, the
Yes,
outside manifestation.
yes,
And then if I am not touched or I'm not attached to any of these appearance,
yes.
then nothing can touch me or my daughter, something like that. So
Don't even buy this one.
okay, this is what I was trying to tell you. Okay, so this is also a thought, but it's a very strong and very subtle, which you can't really um, know that
Yes.
it's a thought. Yeah. Okay, I think probably I was buying this. Okay, so I can't do anything.
Sometimes life puts us in these situations. Because I have to be honest, because the rest of us listening to you might just be saying, but just take her away from there. You see, but you know your circumstances better than the rest of us. So you can see, okay, he's my brother, he's my father, mother, these situations are there. And this is something that I really cannot do. And I trust you that you're making the right call. It's completely fine. You see? So you have to just check and see that this is how it is. It's another 7 days. I'm always with her. She'll be fine. Then it's okay.
I always tough, Father, no matter where we are. I know.
Why that presence can be trusted? Because it's your own presence. This body just gives voice to that presence, which is your own presence. So it cannot never leave you.
I don't know any of these
It's
things,
okay.
Father, because past last time I came and I've not been able to attend online or come here.
Yes,
I don't know anything about spirit. I've been very busy,
yes,
so life is taking in a very different,
yes,
which is okay.
yes.
I'm not suffering or anything. I'm just going with what thing is.
I've usually also seen this, that those who live overseas, they're able to attend satsang a lot more when they are overseas. And when they come and their families are here and things are here, then they're not able to attend as much as they did. It's okay. It's very good.
Please don't leave me,
I
Father,
cannot leave you.
no matter what, because mind is throwing, it's taking you as the weakness now. Like, oh, you don't come regularly,
No,
so
no.
he'll forget
It's not
you.
based on these things.
I know, but I know you're always with us
Always.
because we don't have anyone else, Father. I can only trust you. I can only feel safe in your presence.
I cannot leave you.
You've given birth to me. Please don't leave me, Father. No matter where I come or not.
This is not free pass to not attend satsang, okay? But yes.
Because I know sometimes these kind of things come that I mean, hangout. I always feel hangout is much better than
Yeah,
being in person. At least I was there
yeah.
regularly. Thank you so much for everything, Father. Thank you.
So welcome. Always welcome. It's okay. Okay, sweetie. Yeah, I can see. Oh, yes. Got the basket along or no? Okay, well, the
No
basket is here.
basket.
Basket is here. Basket also went into the basket.
I'm not seeing basket. It's the fear.
Fear can't be put in the basket. Because we came to this very beautiful point the other day that you saw that the perceiving is untouched even with this fear or anything, isn't it? And this perceiving is here, and you came to this point of seeing, is it? So now the appearances will come back saying, but what about me? But what about fear? But what about this contraction? What about these things?
Oh, I like so much that I need not to
Yes, yes. Because these are the tricks of the mind, you see. It comes and says, but this is happening, this contraction, this fear. What do I do about this? Just throw it in the basket.
Yes, I feel I'm disappearing.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
okay.
You are discovering,
But I didn't know if it was wrong, if it is my madness.
you are discovering that you have never been an appearance. Can we move this? This incense, can we move a little bit? Because
So it's okay.
yeah,
Sometimes it's very beautiful, but I'm not feeling so dead. Not
yes,
so alive, but not so dead. Body is burning. Sometimes it seems I'm feeling mixed with the environment.
yes.
And
So,
it's very beautiful, but
so as we go through this process of throwing everything, what can you not throw? If we say we throw everything, what is it that can't be thrown? Can you throw yourself? Throw yourself into the basket?
no.
Cannot be thrown.
The fear is about boundaries, this story of
Yes.
how I will be, what will be the reference, just love, without,
Yes.
and practical things. I
Yeah.
have so few ability with practical things.
Yes.
So how it will be after?
It can't be any worse. It can't get any worse anyway. So then, no trouble for you. Because you see, already I'm not too good at these practical things. Then nothing to worry about.
Yes, it's difficult to be worse. So this thing of fragility, I cannot be, and body is dissolving. Oh, I'm so happy that you perceive me so good. It's about trust. Sometimes it's difficult, and I was trying to escape to come here, and through you. It's coming the memory about the love of my father.
Suppose that Satsang was a e-commerce website. If Satsang was a e-commerce website, put the outside appearances into the cart, put the body into the cart, put the thoughts, emotions into the cart, put even the sense that I exist, I am, into the cart. Now what is left? Everything is gone into the cart. What is left? Is that which is left. Can we find that one to put it into the cart?
Something is coming in this absence of some
Yes.
choice coming.
Yeah. Choice also into the cart.
Oh no!
Because whatever we can find can go into the cart. Whatever has been located into the cart. Can we locate ourselves? All feeling, sensation, all these appearances, sublime experiences, everything that is located, put it into the cart. Have you gone in or you're still here?
Some tensions dissolving, like
Yes.
I'm disappearing.
Yes. Yes. But once you disappear, that means you are no longer in appearance. Are you still here or no?
Without boundaries.
Yes.
It's how I will, and it makes me feel afraid
Yes.
of it.
Without boundaries,
Just space.
also without any attributes, qualities, anything. No color, no shape, no form, not within time, not within this space.
Something wants this dissolution. The fear, it's about.
That's something also in the cart. Whatever you find, you put it in the cart. Because that which is claiming to want to find it is actually trying to distract you from it.
Yes. It's mine.
Whatever you can find, put it in the cart, put it in the basket. What is left? Have you also gone in the basket? It's a very simplistic example, but it's very powerful, I feel. Because you can take every phenomenal appearance and keep it aside, keep it aside, keep it aside. What is left? You are still here. As what? Who thinks this is some La La Land type example and it's not really helping? You can say, you can be honest, and we can look together. Okay, at what stage do you leave? Let me move this thing to this because I want to speak to everyone about this. At what stage do you leave? Have you left when the outer appearances would stop? You say put it in basket, put it in cup, in cart, or you say they stop. Have you left because outer appearances just stopped? Are you still here or no? Still here. Now you stopped experiencing the sensations from your own body. You cannot sense that your own body is here. You cannot see it, and now no sensations are also coming from your body. So your body seems to have gone. Are you still here or no? Now all emotions, feelings, sensations, also you're not feeling anything of these. They're also gone. You're still here or no? No thoughts arising also. All thoughts gone, kept aside, not appearing. Thoughts also gone. But you are still here or no? In this place, no love, peace, joy, all are gone. But you are still here. Now, even this sense that I am, I exist, if it is gone, will that which witnesses even this, will that remain or no? Now, is this one not what you already are? Do you have to become this one? Is it effortful to remain as this awareness? Have you ever been anything but this actually? Can you ever become now any of this appearance? Can you try to become something which is just appearing and show me if you succeeded? When all things are gone, is the awareness of them also gone? Can there be anything without the awareness of it? Can we truly report on the existence of that which we are not aware of? There must at least be an imagined idea of it for us to be able to say that it exists. There must be at least a mental concept of it to say that it exists without me being aware of it. This knowingness, this awareness, this seeingness is unchanging, unborn, undying, in front of which, made up of which, this entire phenomenal play happens. The birth of the universe and the dissolution. So if this entire universe was to be put in the basket or to be burnt, this awareness would remain as the undying witness. You're getting used to being boundaryless now. Because being is coming to the recognition of that from which it arises. Because the absolute is unchanging, does not have states, does not have delusion or recognition. It's dynamic play, the dynamic aspect called consciousness. It is playing like this, playing as if it is forgetting what it is, and playing as if it is remembering or recognizing what it is. Play of consciousness, God's play. Presence, absence, even ultimately awareness, unawareness, knowing, not knowing. None of these ultimately are the truest definition of the absolute. Not even the absolute or not absolute. But yet, when we have to use terms in this play, and therefore terms like awareness or knowingness or the pure witnessing, pure seeing, are beautiful pointers to that which you are. Let us make this action. Put it in the cart. This is my cart action. It will speak in the mic. The mic is not in the cart.
Big relief when mind stops. Just not necessary.
Yes.
And in this environment of satsang is very easy to let it happen. Outside, it's more difficult. It comes this idea I must manage some things, not a lot,
Yeah.
but because it happens when I went up this morning. Oh, okay, it was not this fear so strong. Oh, so good to be near you. Okay, I'll go now for my place.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I come up?
You can come, my dear.
Me? Hello.
Hello.
Can you can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you
I
hear
can
me
hear you.
fine or is okay?
That's good. That's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little I don't know. It's not so clear here, so that's why I'm asking. It's exactly what you spoke about, right? uh,
Yeah.
what uh, what I have to, I don't know what. um, I just words are not right. um, I want to look together with you, just exactly about what you just spoke about, and um, what is here is just all the time witnessing. Yeah, what I am is all the time witnessing. Everything is just really the experience is so very different from what was ever before in a way. Uh, it is this all the time awareness is here, and what something gets seemingly confused here with these terms, which but the experience is not about the terms, of course, but you know that the when the terms are used, consciousness and awareness, it seems that the terms are separate, but it's not like that in the experience. There's no separation here. There's all the time awareness. Oh, it's just all the time. I mean, and everything is just arising in me. It's just everything. I mean,
Okay, let's do one thing.
okay,
Are
let's
you
do
ready?
one thing. Yeah, please. Please.
We have to do that muting thing then because it's coming.
Yeah.
So, yes. This is good. You just suppose that we've never heard any terms. No definition, no term, no language has been heard. You don't know anything about awareness or consciousness. Nothing. We're just looking at our direct experience of what is. And we are finding that I am looking at this outer world, but the outer world is not looking at me. I am looking at my feelings, emotions, sensations in the body. These are not looking at me. I am looking at my thoughts and what they are saying. These thoughts are not looking at me. Also, I find that there is this sense that I'm looking at, that I exist, but this sense is not looking at me. And now I want to look at myself. That is all that we're doing here. You see, I've been looking at all these appearances which are coming and going, but I want to look at myself now. Who am I? That is the point of the question, isn't it? So I just want to look at myself. Who am I who has been looking at all of this and yet has not looked at himself seemingly? So then what do we find? That only this looking has been here as myself. But the funny thing is, it is not the looking which has forgotten this. The looking has just been looking all the time. The looking has not forgotten this. The looking is looking. Nothing can touch the looking. Not even remembering, forgetting, memory, all of this, nothing is touching this looking. It is just looking. Nothing happened to it ever. In the entire play of something happening and not happening, nothing ever happened to the looking. Therefore, the looking was never deluded. The looking did not need satsang. The looking was just looking, isn't it? Looking is just looking. So nothing happened to looking. Then what is this whole thing about? This whole thing is about the sense that I exist came up, and this sense that I exist came up, and then it started to say I exist as if I am Ananta or I'm Nitya or whatever our names have been. You see, the sense I exist started.
But Father, I have to stop you now. Exactly that point. You know, that
Yes,
it's less than that here. Less than Nitya Ananta or something. It's less, what is it? This existence is less, it's empty, it's just silence.
yes. But this existence is what I'm saying, that I exist. The sense that I exist is something less than that.
There's existence. Yeah, there's existence. And in this existence, these appearances like body, like seeming Nitya Ananta arising.
Yes. But if it is not the sense that I exist, then what would it matter to us? If it was just an existence, less like a TV show, and there was no sense that I exist, then how would it matter?
I somehow don't understand what you mean.
Let's look together. What I understood from what you said is that there is only the sense of am. There is no am. There is no I which exists. There is only the sense of existence. But it is not my sense of existence. It is not I which is existing, isn't it? That's what you're saying. So if it is not I which is existing, then it can be seen that this existence is what is coming up. You see? Then there is no scope for any delusion, any confusion, no pretending to be anything at all. If this itself is the starting point, that only existence is appearing, then there is no scope for any delusion, isn't it? Any play as if it is something, as if I am something.
I don't know what scope means, but the word.
Any possible any possibility of any delusion doesn't exist because there is no attaching with the I anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yet, yet, when we come to satsang the first time, there's this sense that I am stuck in this. I want freedom. I'm tired of this life of a person. You see? So unless there started the sense that I am, then we cannot say I am like this and I am not getting it. I got it. I want freedom. I'm tired of this. All of this would come from where?
And this is
Say
not
it's
there. This is not there. I am this, that, or it's just,
no. I'm not saying for you. I'm not saying for you now, but I'm saying that for those who come into satsang, that's how we start, isn't it? Yes, that's how we start. So therefore, there is this possibility for us to play like this, that I am stuck, I am a seeker, I want freedom, all of this. Only when we start seeing, only when we start seeing that this, all of this is just appearing in front of me and is just dancing, and I am this untouched witnessing of all of this. Does it become clear that actually I'm not an active participant in this at all? You see? So when we see when and this recognition is happening to who? We say that I had this recognition, but it is not the looking which had the recognition. It is not happening for the looking. Awareness is not coming to the recognition of awareness. Awareness always recognizes that it is aware. In fact, the term itself, recognized or not recognized, does not apply to awareness.
yeah.
You see? So it is this existing that you say, or I say I am, or you're saying just existence, that is coming to the recognition that it comes from and is made up of this awareness itself.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Yes.
who would the recognition be
Yes.
for? Isn't it? And nothing else is here.
Yeah.
There is only this looking, and there is only this sense of existing.
Yes, it's only this, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So only
Only
looking,
this I am.
yes, yes, very good. So this looking remains unchanged whether there is sense of existing or not. Whether there is sleep, where there is no existing, even the sense of existence is not there, or there is waking state where the sense of existence wakes up, this looking remains unchanged.
Yes. It's just always there.
This is our direct
Just,
experience, not some imagined concept, idea. We say that I went to sleep
no.
at 10:30, I woke up at 7:30, 6:30. What is happening? The sense of existence goes and the sense of existence comes.
Yeah.
Now, only in this sense of existence is there, we can say that I'm confused about what I am. I was confusing myself to be a person. Now I'm recognizing the truth for what I truly am. In sleep, we are not recognizing or forgetting anything. And yet the looking is there. You see? So now this recognizing is the one, is the recognizing that the sense of existence itself is made up of this looking itself, just playing as if it is the sense of existence. Yes, yes, very good.
Yes, exactly that.
Huh? Now, now I can say that not even the looking is. I am telling you that not even the looking is. Can you look and confirm this? You cannot. You cannot. You can only presume it because I am saying it. You see, because either it must be looked at and seen, or it must be just a mental concept. You see, so if there's a looking of it, and I found that there is something beyond the looking, then already there must be a looking to see that which is beyond looking. But if it is just
Again,
an
that
idea,
was
but if it is just an idea that there is a pot of gold which is there beyond awareness, then it's just an idea, and everyone is welcome to their ideas. But I cannot certify it to be my direct experience. You see. But I'm open to looking.
Ananta, may I ask you something about the looking?
Yes, my dear. In a while after Nitya is done, then.
When you were talking about looking, I was experiencing the impersonal looking. And then what came was the concept of being self-conscious, as if somebody is looking at me and judging and evaluating, which is a familiar feeling.
I just wanted to check if Nitya is done with her question, and then we'll come to your
Okay.
this one.
Okay. Thank you. Sure.
no, I'm not done. I, um,
Now, which part is a little confusing or sticky or something? We can look at that together.
actually, there is nothing sticky and
Yes.
really sticky.
Okay. Are we agreed on this? That either it must be looked at or it must be seen, but I'm not talking about the phenomenal thing. You know this, so I'm not specifying it for you
Yeah.
because we promised not to use the word awareness. So I'm not using. I'm still using looking. So
Yeah.
either we must be looking at it, we must have seen it in this way, or it must just be a concept. Can it be a third thing besides these two?
No, just looking, just looking.
Yes. I'm saying that whatever we can say, either it must come from this space of looking and having been seen, or it just must be a mental concept. Can it be any third thing?
No, no,
So we're clear.
only
Yes. If we are clear it can only be one of these two, then we must be able to say that for us to say anything about the truth, there must be the looking of it and the seeing of it. The truth is the looking itself. Because if it is prior to looking, then if there's no looking at it, then it must be only conceptual. Let's
I
look to
don't know if I got that.
your first answer.
Let me
Yes.
yeah. This looking is just this looking. There's no concept of looking. It's an experienceless looking. It's not even experience. It's just, and in this looking, existence arise, the
Yes.
pure form of existence. This is, but this is not. It's, these are not two things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's the end, or the beginning, or whatever. I mean, you know, I mean,
They're not two things. Yeah? That is why it's Advaita, you see. Yes. And yet, if we were not to talk of them, as we were to just speak as if the sense of existence never arose, then what are we doing? There's nothing to speak actually.
Exactly, nothing to speak, no. Or this is happening in it, or we are happening as this in it.
In it.
Or yeah,
In
it's just yeah. And all this is just empty. I mean, there's no meaning to it, or it's just empty, and yet in a way happening,
yes.
if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, completely.
And it's so very simple. I mean, it's the experience of what we are talking about. It's much easier and simpler than the talking about it. If that makes sense. It's
It is the most effortless,
I don't know
timeless
what.
this to be true.
Yeah.
Yes. So the recognition of this is prior to time actually. Cannot even say it takes time because it is prior to time. The recognition that being itself, consciousness is itself is having, that I must be made up of awareness, I must come from awareness, is prior to, it does not need time. Time and space comes from being or existence. You see? So this needs no time. This recognition is here. But there's a corollary to this. There's a second part to this, which I don't know whether right now you'll agree with or not. But I have to say it because I have to speak from
Yeah,
what I see.
please.
Just because the recognition happens doesn't mean necessarily, it can mean sometimes, rarely actually, that this sense of existence drops about itself. You see? So the recognition always happens just like this prior to time, it is always present. And yet the sense of existence in this seemed up many ideas about itself. And just because the recognition happened, all ideas don't necessarily have to have been dropped because of that. Many can go. Most can go also, we can say. For some, it could be all have gone. You see? Basically, what it is seen in this play of existence is that existence still continues to hold on to some ideas about itself, even after recognizing itself to be made up of this no thing. And that is why we say that satsang is useful to come over and over in this play of existence so that existence continues to drop all ideas that it had about itself. Maybe through constant and repetitive looking, it can happen. Maybe just being in the energy field of satsang, it can happen. You see? But there is no dichotomy in this. Once it is seen that only the looking is, and this is recognized by this sense of existence, even then you might find that in day to day life, it still pretends as if it is something. It is something. And this dropping of these ideas that it is something and and just remaining as just existence itself is what is happening in satsang.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree with that. Totally.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. So Lucia can come, and then Supriya also said she wanted to come, so she can come after Lucia. She can come. welcome. Coming in. You're channeling Pratna, is it? Don't. Yeah. Yeah. But don't laugh. No? Mm. You make this resolve to go, and then now body is not moving. Huh? What? Oh yes? I don't recall. No, no, no. You sent a song? Oh, I didn't hear. I must have seen. I never. Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm going to hear this. It's good. And now that you mention, I recall reading some message like that. There's a song. You sent a recording. Yes. All of us have. You can take the mic now.
I don't know. I am believing all that. So much nonsense. I'm really tired with it.
Don't believe that also.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to say.
Ananta? Ananta?
Yes, my dear, please come.
Thank you. Thank you. While you were talking with Nitya about the looking, I experienced the looking, or the seeing, whatever you want to call it, and everything in it.
Yeah.
And then came this looking right about here at me. When you said nothing is looking back at us, the thoughts, we're looking at the thoughts, but the thoughts are looking back at us, and we're looking at everything, and nothing's looking back at us. But suddenly something was looking back at me, and there was a sense of self-consciousness, which is a very familiar feeling for the person. So I wondered if you could comment on the difference between that self-consciousness and the pure looking.
Yes, yes. From the beginning, you say that I could see that there was a looking. Let's look at that. Now, if there was a seeing of the looking, then which seeing is this? Is it separate from the looking itself?
It appears to be separate.
Yes. So then that which is seen, that seeming looking, which is also seen, is not what we are talking about. Who sees even that?
The being, the the one that doesn't have a name.
Being.
It's the non-phenomenal being. It's just the what you call awareness, I guess. I was calling just the being.
Yes. So is this direct experience now?
Yes, it is direct. Uh-huh.
So when we say, are you aware now? Are there two awareness?
No, now there's one. It's just, yeah, there's one awareness now.
Yes, there's one awareness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, what can be looking back?
I don't know what can be, but so there was suddenly the sense of something looking. the
Yes, but even that is seen. So
It is seen. Yes, it is,
that is not
and it's
the true.
felt. It's not looking. It's seeing it and feeling it.
So my
Mind. Okay.
it can play these kind of sensations or self-conscious. It can give you this visual of something looking back or some sense of something looking back. But even in this, there, even of this, so this awareness remains untouched, isn't it?
Yes, if I stay over here and not go over to that one, it is here, and there is just this one.
Yes. And even if attention goes to any other appearance,
Hmm?
actually what happens to awareness in reality?
Nothing happens to it. It's still here.
Yes. And is there any way that you can separate yourself from it? Can you
No,
become other than awareness?
not really. Sometimes there was a thinking that I am, but no,
Yes.
not
So,
not from this perspective.
yeah. So in reality, nothing happens to awareness, even if there is deep identification with anything that is appearing, isn't it? And the
Yes.
one part about this is that when this is seen, then the ability to deeply identify also gets reduced more and more.
Thank
To
goodness.
see that, yeah,
Thank
that
goodness.
untouched, to see that awareness remains untouched, irrespective of identity, actually, is very helpful to dissolve the identity. Because then we are not fearing the identity also so much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was some fear that came up with the self-consciousness. It's being judged from the outside. It's having been judged by parents and whoever, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And having that eye pointed at me, like I'm being watched, I'm being judged, I'm being evaluated, criticized. That.
Yes. So this sense of self-image is very primal to the identity, you see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So just see
Yes.
who is it. We say self-image, but is it truly self-image? No, it's just an idea. It's just a
Right.
projection.
It isn't real.
Yeah. Because actually the self can have no image. It is non-phenomenal, like you said. And very importantly also to notice that if we no longer are believing our own thoughts, then what is it that makes us believe the thoughts of others? They also thought same way.
It's actually ridiculous, really. If I don't believe my own thoughts, why would I believe somebody else's? For some reason, this is making me think about how lately I'm having a very difficult time talking to most of my friends.
Yeah.
There's one or two that are very spiritually focused and they're sort of tracking with me somehow, but there's other ones that I'm not even calling them back. I don't know what to say to them. Like
Even the spiritual ones, it will not be so easy to communicate this what you are discovering now. And there must be no sense of rush into sharing about
Mm,
what you discovered. Because even the
yeah.
spiritual ones, the most spiritually inclined ones, somehow don't get to this usually when we are talking about ourself being the non-phenomenal awareness.
Right. Yeah, they don't have a clue. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't felt like saying, well, I'm spending at least 3 days a week in satsang to people.
Yeah. In fact,
Like,
Supriya is here and some of our other friends also. I have told them
yeah.
actually not to have any spiritual discussions with their friends.
Oh.
It sounds funny, I know. Why? Because I noticed that in the spiritual discussions itself, a lot of concepts were being shared and a lot of concepts were being picked up. And more importantly, it became like group checking. Where am I today? What's happening to you? So this must be happening, like this. So it is writing our report cards over and over in a group
Uh,
and also buying the projections which others might have about us. So not just our
yes.
report cards on the mind, but also report cards which others are giving us. So I've been having some conversations also where it was shared like this that I've become so used to taking a report card from this friend of mine that it's become like a
Uh-huh.
habit. And I said that we must only take advice or follow guidance from those who themselves are free from suffering first,
Yeah, of course.
especially when it is accessible once you come to satsang to be around free from suffering, then we must not take advice or guidance, spiritual guidance from those who themselves are not yet free from this sense of suffering. You see, then it
Yeah.
becomes just a perpetuation, this checking the checker identity.
But most people are suffering.
Exactly. We
I'm
must not
noticing
be,
that it's like,
yes, we
what's
must not
that?
be
I'm sorry.
spiritually guided by those who themselves are suffering.
Right.
The
I
blind,
almost feel like I need a separate identity. Just to talk about, well, I'm doing this, if they say, well, what are you doing? I have to talk about other things besides this, which has become so much a part of my life lately. I have
yeah,
to think about, okay, let's see, my work stuff, and I've got a performance in 2 weeks. Okay, I have to remember what I'm doing sort of on the outside, just to have something to talk about. Oh,
so nice. And there's more trust now for whatever is appearing in the moment, even if it is silence and you're not responding. You
yes.
see, if they're really your friends, then they will give you that space to respond or not.
Mhm. Yes. And there's a lot more silence now.
Yes,
And it's wonderful. Wonderful
yes.
silence. Beautiful silence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste, Father. Can I come up now? Is
Yes,
it
yes,
okay?
yes, yes.
Father, I'm trying to be here with you right now, but it just seems like something is just getting heavier and heavier and heavier, as if like a big iron helmet, literally.
Okay, so do one thing. Do the opposite. Just keep sitting on that chair and try to leave. Don't try to be here. Just try to leave instead. Let's see what can leave. Don't be here. You're still here. Why are you still here?
Should I get up and go? But then I am here.
Yeah, because when you said I'm trying hard to be here, you were not talking about necessarily just sitting on the chair, no? Just talking about something like your attention or something like this. So leave everything free, let it go.
Okay.
Actually, you called me yesterday night and I was in the IPL match with my kids. And
Oh,
if I had answered, you would only hear these cricket fans cheering and things.
I think just calling you our father was good. I kind of, my whole crying got released in that and something just settled. But Father, what is coming up right now is I don't know if it's a question because it's just a seeing that there's this feeling of holding on to some way of existence because um, last week it was like as if there was no existence, and yesterday the mind was punching with its full might from all directions and holding on to the space of a mother and has wife, and it was funny because it didn't even feel that something was there, but it was yet a fight to exist as some in some form. And also not just this, but also what came up was like the body that I'm not feeling well and completely drained, tired. And so maybe I want to check with you, is it some sort of a um, this identity crisis, or it's just too much of a identity the attachment, or it's a seeker again who's because it's getting confusing, sticky, and my whole brain yesterday was about to like literally burst. I was screaming at my daughter and like literally had a fight with my husband, and it was funny because I just felt that I'm just losing it. There was no
It sounds so funny, no? It's like you were a ninja or something. Daughter in front, ha ha
it,
ha.
it,
Husband,
it
ha.
yeah, it
There it was,
just
ha.
felt like that.
Body, my own body, ha ha.
No, there was a defense, father, and there was a need to uh, ask them for approval or existence, and so much of stuff came out through that, like so many emotions, so many beliefs about my own self, attachment. But right now, when you were talking to Aparna, and I was just thinking that you were telling her keep the mother identity and mother attachment, and I'm like, but the moment I put myself there to really keep it, it just gives me such a hard time. So for me, it's not working like that, that I keep any attachment, you know.
When you keep yourself that you have to lose it, then what happens? It feels good.
It's not feeling good in either ways.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I mean is just leave it alone.
So what are these attacks that come up? And I've been crying, Father, for the last 2 days. I don't know what's happening. There is no reason why this is happening also, but it's just so much of crying is happening. And the just all that I can do is no inquiry, just a prayer, and that is all. Just a prayer to just just absorb me. And it's just coming naturally because I called you up yesterday, Father, and you did not pick up the phone. And it was a relief because I didn't know what to ask you really. It was just something was just exploding. And so right now, even the entire satsang I sat through, but it was very difficult to really understand it or pick out something what would concern me because it was just like as if my ears were getting blocked, and so there was like slight hearing and not hearing, then slight hearing and then just blank. So that space of non-existence
Okay, so
as
now this report card now you're given to me. Now forget about it. Now what is there? It suddenly felt like I was in my son's PTA or something. He's a very sophisticated checker, no? Because usually the normal checker would say, "Yeah, I didn't hear anything you were saying in satsang today." But but this checker was like, yes, there were times where the ear was blocked, and sometimes it was opening slightly, and then it was blocked again. Okay,
it
now
was just feeling so heavy the entire satsang.
okay, so now report card is given. Now what?
Too much heaviness still.
Where is the heaviness? Area?
Well, it's like it's just in the entire head and just feel like crying again right now.
Yeah, that is okay. Don't have to resist anything. But is the heaviness affecting that which is looking at the heaviness also?
The, it feels very tight, yes.
And who is looking at it? Is that also heavy?
My father, it feels very one right now.
Feels one with the heaviness?
Yeah.
And who knows this? Don't make any mental picture of awareness. There is a knowing of heaviness. There is a seeing of the heaviness. Where is it touching this knowing? Where is the heaviness touching it?
No, it's not touching it at all.
Yes. So, therefore, it cannot be one in that way with it, not phenomenally. You see.
No.
Now, where are you between these two? Are you something which is stuck between heaviness and knowing, or are you one of them?
It seems as if it's on in both sides, you know.
What is you are on both sides? Which arm is on the heaviness and which arm is on the knowingness? Or which leg is on which one?
So
If you
this
didn't have the
heaviness
idea,
is,
if you didn't have the idea that this is heaviness and they should go away, then what is the trouble?
no, there's no trouble in that. Is it something like there is a thing to need to push things away?
What do you say? I say again?
The the knowingness of everything is there always,
Yes.
but every time such an attack comes or something happens, there's a need to push it away, especially in this.
That need is conditioning. No? For knowingness is not pushing anything away. Even beingness is just being. It is our ideas that this should not be there. I can push it away or I should have more of it. Either way, that causes this make believe suffering.
Yes, because there's a concept that I'm exposed because of our previous all understandings. So either it is like um, holding it in the space and allowing it to be as like a shadow, or rejecting it and trying to push it away.
You have to
So
paint anything. Don't paint any picture. Don't paint any picture because too much painting is happening. No, so just step away from all this painting. Because it is this mental painting which takes us away from what is here right now. Even phenomenally, you see, phenomenally, what is here right now is so wonderful. You're here in the hangout from beings from all over the world, and we can talk to each other like this in spite of being in so many miles away. All of this is so beautiful right now, but the mind is saying, but this and that, and this happened, and
it just happened. There is no significance or thing to look into it, right? Because I think
yes.
I'm holding on to it to report is that, okay, do I need to look into something or do we need to look into something?
No, we only need to look into what is here right now. And look into in the sense of who is the one that is looking in the first place. That is the most important looking. We never need to get into the nitty gritties of the appearance. Once it is seen as an appearance, then it can be discarded. You see. Because we can actually spend many lifetimes just dissecting these appearances, either outward or emotion or thoughts or feelings, all of these things. And at one point, you have to say that it's really not helping, you know.
Yeah, it's tiresomely not helping.
The appearance of Supriya had a fight with her daughter and a fight with her husband and a fight with everyone in the world. That's it. You see it. Don't have to say why did this happen or why this feeling was there, what emotion caused it, what am I still not seeing. All of this is just trouble. What is just is. Something maybe is wishing that all this would stop happening. But even that is not the truth, isn't it? It is happening because it is happening. You are the witnessing of it, which is untouched. Your thoughts are trying to make a somebody out of you.
Yeah, and it's really strong suddenly in everything. It's picking up anything and everything right now.
But can never succeed in making somebody out of you. So I know that the truth will prevail. Even if it seems strong, it is never really strong. Really strong would mean that it can actually happen, that you could become somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, it can never happen like that.
Yes. Then, so do we want to talk about that which can never happen or that which always is? The mind says, let's talk about that which can never happen really because it seems strong. But in reality, you are that. You are unchanging.
Yeah, just
Nobody has ever succeeded in becoming a somebody. And yet you have to give this mind some credit for trying over and over again.
and listening to it also over and over again.
Now she's snapping out of it, you see. Now you can see. That's why
Yes.
I do satsang every day, Monday to Friday, because when there's a break, sometimes it feels like the conditioning has come back strongly. This happened, that happened, and I'm believing myself to be this. How can it be that nothing needs to be done? Something must need to be fixed. All these ideas can be there. And then in satsang, we're just pruning away these ideas. And then you see, I am that. I can never become a person. All of this was nobody's. Nothing ever happened really.
Yes. Probably I can breathe right now. Thank you, Father.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I like this smuggler chair that you sit on.
Yeah.
The movies, my smugglers, they used to have these chairs. Like I saw one at Richa's place, which also had some stones or diamonds. I don't know what they were really. So, the Hindu used to have these chairs. Very. I don't know why I'm saying all this. Thank you, my dear.
Love you, Father. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Devika wanted to come quickly, she said. And I had a meeting at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
It's okay.
hello, Father.
Namaste, namaste, my dear.
I don't have any question. I just felt very strongly that I needed to come up and talk to you and just be in your direct presence. So that's all. There's no question.
So very happy you came up. All that the mind is ever trying is to convince you that you are somebody. Somebody who's either guilty of something, or somebody who's not trying hard enough, or somebody who's full of pride, or somebody who's something. And you can never be that somebody. And then when we see this, that I can never be this somebody, then we see that everything that is happening or happened was just another happening. There's nobody that did or did not do anything. So in one way, it is a great blessing here that I've never been very good with feeling guilty, even before spirituality happened. There was just a sense that it just happened, and I said I apologized, and it's over. Why to hang on to things? It just happened when you could see that it's just something that happened. So either guilt. I was better at pride actually. I'm so cool. So it was not equi distributed on both sides of the spectrum. And we see temperamentally, all of us have different ways. No? Some are better at feeling guilty, some are better at feeling pride, some are better at feeling these different things. But once you come to this scene that all of this is just a happening, nothing really happened, nobody here to do anything or not do anything in the first place. Then we're just watching the movie like this. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. And so much life is showing us every day that actually anything can happen. And yet there can be great trust in even life to know that ultimately it is not vindictive, it is supportive. And therefore, everything that is happening, even though it might feel horrendous at that point of time, you see that it gives you a blessing. It creates some space, creates some openness, creates even some sense of fearlessness. Once we see that anything can happen, then we're not so fearful about what might happen.
Mm, mm. Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you also very much for joining in Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Mujiji ki Jai. Thank you, Claire, for moderating. Good to see you again. Good. Thank you, my dear. Okay, we can end the broadcast now.